Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel Luxury Ways. A channel that is always about style and class. We hope that all of you have enjoyed our previous video of the top 10 finance skills to include in your CV 2023. In today's video we will talk about the top 10 most expensive things in the world for 2022. When it comes to the most expensive things in the world, it is certain that most of these things would be exclusive and rarely found. And most importantly, not me and you but only the uber rich can afford to own most of these. Wouldn't it be nice to have so much money that you could choose to buy anything you wanted without checking your bank balance first? Maybe you'd want to buy the most expensive thing in the world. But what would that be? Well, it might also sound ridiculous to spend whopping amounts on these most expensive things. But, when you have loads of money, you will be looking to place your hands on things which are the most expensive as well as just beyond beautiful. The super rich people want to have an exclusive collection of things to simply show it off as well. Today we will be discussing 10 such expensive things which would be a dream come true to afford for a commoner. But before we move on, please subscribe us to Patreon to help us to keep this channel running. Starting with number 10, Dead Shark $8 million. While many expensive things have useful, revenue-generating purposes, some of the world's most expensive objects seem to make less sense. Artist Damien Hirst created the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living. It's a tiger shark preserved in formaldehyde in a vitrine and was commissioned by Charles Saatchi. It sold for $8 million to hedge fund billionaire Stephen Cohen, according to multiple reports. Number 9. Insure.com domain name $16 million. Insurance is a big business, and finding the right domain name can be a pricey proposition. Insure.com was purchased for $16 million. According to Hoys.com, the site is registered to Network Solutions, LLC, and the contact information listed reveals the parent company as QuinStreet Inc., a company that powers decentralized online marketplaces. Apparently not willing to skimp on domain purchases, the tech giant also owns Insurance.com and CarInsurance.com. Number 8. Giant Clock $42 million. Amongst billionaire Jeff Bezos' more extravagant purchases is a $42 million giant clock designed to run for 10,000 years. Perhaps it could be considered a business expense if he uses it to ensure everyone receives their Prime Day purchases in 2 days or less. The actual idea for the clock comes from Danny Hillys, who originally proposed a 10,000-year clock in 1995 in Wired as a way to think about the long-term future of humanity and the planet. That idea grew into the Clock of the Long Now, a project by the Long Now Foundation, which Hillys went on to co-found to build an actual, working version of the proposed clock. The group built a couple of prototypes, but Bezos' clock which Hillys is designing will be the first to function on a full scale. The team has spent the last few years machining parts for the clock and drilling through the mountain to store the components. Number 7. 1962 Ferrari GTO $48.4 million. It's not surprising to find a few cars on this list of the world's most expensive things. In 2018, a 1962 red Ferrari GTO sold to an anonymous buyer at Sotheby's auction in Monterey for $48.4 million. A rare 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO sold for $48.4 million at Sotheby's annual collector car sale in Monterey, California. The sale set a world record for any car ever sold at auction. It beat out a Ferrari 250 GTO Berlinetta that sold for $38 million in 2014. Not close behind was a 1957 Ferrari that sold for $35 million in Paris, France, in 2016. Considered the holy grail in collectible cars, the 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO was sold by former Microsoft executive Greg Whitten. CNBC's Robert Frank spoke to Whitten on why he's selling the car before the auction took place on August 25. The $48 million race car won the 1962 Italian GT Championship and has over 15 class and overall wins from 1962 to 1965. Phil Hill, the first American to be a Formula One world champion, was a driver for the car. Number 6. Garson A La Pipe, $104 million. Garson A La Pipe, English, boy with a pipe, is an oil-on-canvas painting by Pablo Picasso. It was painted in 1905 when Picasso was 24 years old, during his Rose period, soon after he settled in the Montmartre area of Paris. The painting depicts a Parisian adolescent boy who holds a pipe in his left hand and wears a garland of flowers on his head, surrounded by two floral decorations. The subject was a local boy named Petit Louis, who died at a young age. The painting is listed as one of the most expensive paintings, after being sold at Sotheby's auction for $104 million on the 5th of May 2004. It is currently the fifth highest-selling painting by Picasso. In 1905, Picasso was still a struggling artist and had settled in Montmartre in Paris. He was living in poverty in a dilapidated artist building at 13 Rue Ravignon known as Le Bateau Lavoir. Picasso had made the transition from his earlier pessimistic blue period and was now in a new, more optimistic phase known as his rose period. There's Big Money in Art Investing, and Garson A La Pipe, Boy with Pipe, by Pablo Picasso falls third behind Portrait of Adele Bloch Bauer I, as one of the three most expensive pieces of artwork ever. It sold for $104 million at Sotheby's auction in May 2004, supposedly purchased by Guido Barilla. Number 5. Portrait of Adele Bloch Bauer I, $135 million. The Gustav Klimt painting takes second place behind The Card Players when it comes to expensive art. The painting last sold in 2006 for $135 million, purchased by art collector Ronald Lauder for display in New Gallery, New York. Gustav Klimt's Portrait of Adele Bloch Bauer I is a work layered with meanings. The apogee of fin de siècle Viennese symbolist painting and an exquisite distillation of feminine beauty, the work also represents the tragic story of Jewish dispossession at the hands of the Nazis. In 1938, Nazis seized the painting along with much of the contents of the Bloch Bauer's home. The work was eventually hung at the Belvedere Museum in Austria, which claimed ownership based on Adele's 1923. Number 4. Jeff Bezos' Beverly Hills house $165 million. One of the largest properties in Beverly Hills will be getting a bit larger after the Planning Commission voted on March 24 to approve permits for the Jack L. Warner estate, the Beverly Hills domicile of Amazon CEO and founder Jeff Bezos. The commission also recommended that the city council adopt a new safety element for the first time since 2010. The Warner estate, named for its first and principal occupant, Warner Brothers co-founder and film impresario Jack L. Warner, currently consists of a two-story residence, a two-story guest house, a two-story gym and staff house, a pool house, a swimming pool and a tennis court. Number 3. The Card Players painting $275 million. The Card Players is not a single painting but 5 other painting that was created with the same name dated between 1890 and 1895. The painting depicts Provençal peasants' daily life as they were smoking their pipes and playing cards. The painting depicts Provençal peasants' daily life as they were smoking their pipes and playing cards. The subjects were all male and were displayed as they were playing cards. Their eyes were cast downward as they were playing the game at hand. Cézanne's portraits lacked the drama, narrative, and how to characterize figures. It is assumed that people playing cards often drink a lot, but there was only an unused wine bottle in one of a painting of the two-player versions, whereas in others there was an absence of drink and money. With stocks and investments tumbling in a bear market, some of the world's wealthiest people are opting to invest in art and other tangible items. Your portfolio would look pretty sweet if you had this pricey painting in it. The Card Players by French artist Paul Cézanne is worth $275 million and owned by the royal family of Al Thani in Qatar, which happens to be the world's 4th richest country according to World Atlas. Number 2. Villa Leopolda $506 million. A mansion on the French Riviera, named Villa Leopolda, holds the title of the second most expensive private residence. The building served as a hospital during World War II and has changed hands several times since its construction in 1902 for Belgian King Leopold II, hence the name. In 2008, Russian billionaire Mikhail Prokhorov purchased the villa. Who lives in Villa Leopolda? The villa is situated in 7.3 hectares, 18 acres, of grounds. The villa has had several notable owners including Johnny and Morella Agnelli, Isaac and Dorothy J. Killam, and, since 1987, by Edmund, 1932 to 1999, and Lily Safra, 1934 to 2022, who inherited the villa after her husband's death. Occupying an area of over 2 lakh square meters, Villa Leopolda has 11 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, a commercial greenhouse, a helipad, an outdoor kitchen, and one of the most gorgeous swimming pools you may have ever seen. It also featured as a principal shooting location in the 1995 Alfred Hitchcock movie To Catch a Thief. Number 1. History Supreme Yacht $4.5 billion. The History Supreme Yacht is not the largest in the world. That honor goes to Jeff Bezos' superyacht Y721 at 417 feet, but Y721 cost a mere $500 million. However, the History Supreme took 3 years to design and is outfitted with some of the world's priciest materials and amenities. First, the yacht features gold and platinum structural fittings, plus gold alloys in the base, deck, railings, dining area, and anchor, according to Lifestyle Asia. It is believed that Malaysian businessman Robert Kwok, who owns the Shangri-La Hotels and Resorts, purchased the boat. So, guys, this is our today's video. We hope all of you guys will enjoy this video. Let me know your opinion in the comment box. See you guys in our next video. Goodbye.